Viewers all over the world, this is your humble mathematician, Godwin Honor, otherwise known as GOMS, Godwin Honor Mathematics Solution. So let's consider episode 15. Episode 15. And what is there? It's a properties of quadratic what? Graph. Properties of quadratic graph. Y equal to AS squared plus BS plus C, or Y equal to C plus BS minus AS squared. Okay? Yes, the properties of quadratic graph in the first place, quadratic graph has a general form of what we have seen on the board, that is y equal to AS squared plus BS plus C, or y equal to C plus BS minus AS squared. This is the general form of a quadratic graph. And the graphical representation is what we call what? Parabola. Is what we call parabola. Yes. Now, quadratic graph has two shapes. So let's consider the shape of a quadratic graph. Quadratic graph has what? Two shapes. Either the U shape, curve, or the N shape. So the first thing that we shall consider is what? The shape. That's the first thing, that is shape. So here we have a U shape or N shape. So whether U shape or N shape, that depends on the value of a what? A. Whether A is what? Greater than 0, or A is what? Less than 0. In the first, in the first one, which is y equal to AS squared plus BS plus C, you can see that A is positive here. So it means that here A is greater than 0. But in the second one, which is A, you can see that A is preceded by negative. It means that A here is less than 0, or you call it A is negative here. So when the value of A, or when A is greater than what? 0, it means that here you have a U shape of what? Parabola. And here you are expected to find the what? The minimal value of what? Of Y. The minimal value of Y. And the corresponding value of S, which is called the equation of line of symmetry. Yes. Here, when A, which is the first one, is positive, when the equation is in this form, the function is in this form, it means that you have U-shaped parabola. And when you have a U-shaped parabola, you are expected to what? Calculate the minimum value of Y. Can you see it? That is the turning point. You calculate the minimum value. But when A is negative, which is here, A is less than 0, which is the second one, and N-shape parabola, it means that you have to calculate the maximum value of Y. Here is the turning point, the maximum. You trace it to Y as this. You understand, like calculating the maximum. So that is about our shape. That is about shape. Then the second thing that we shall consider is what? Table. Table. So table of what? Values. Table of values. So you also require tables when plotting a quadratic graph. You require tables. You understand? Even in our previous episode 14, you also require table for linear graph. Okay, but here a table is also involved. This is where, because the value or the range of value of S is always given. So you need to calculate the corresponding value of Y. Do you understand? So when S is so and Y, this, when S is Y, just that is how you'll be reading it. Because S is always given, the range of value of S is always given. You always, expected to calculate the range of value of Y through X. You understand? So that does it. So the range of S is always given. And for you to calculate the corresponding value of Y, you use two methods, either by direct substitution of X, or by what? By table of values. This is table of values. So the next one that we shall consider is, yes, is a scale. Is a scale. Is a scale. Scale is very, very important. When you are plotting what quadratic graph, you need scale for x axis and y axis. You need to know your scale and you need to state it. Yes, clearly. You need to state your what scale, so that the examiner or the marker will know the scale that you have adopted or used. Then the next thing that we shall consider is what? Yes, calculation. You have to write formula. Formula for calculating. Formula for calculating. Formula for calculating either maximum, either one maximum or what? Or minimum. Or minimum. Or minimum value. Minimum value of y. Okay. Yes. I said okay, we'll talk about shape, we'll talk about table of values, then scales, then formula for calculating either maximum or minimum value of what? Y. So we have formula for that, through which you calculate this, turning point. You understand? So the only thing is this, it has the same formula. It has the same formula. Either calculating maximum or minimum value, it has the same formula. The only difference is that when you substitute the value of A, because you know that A, has different value. One will be positive, the other one will be negative. That one will be the one to alter the result. Okay? Now, how do you, this is the formula. You can either say maximum. This is or you use minimum. This is, if you are using if you want to calculate maximum, which is this, you use this one, equals to. If you want to calculate minimum, which is for this, you use this one, which is y minimum. Then you now say equals to 4ac minus b squared all over what? 4a. Okay? So this is the formula for both. For both, either calculating maximum or minimum. The only thing is this: by the time you apply what? The positive value of A into this place and other value, what you have here, the answer you have here will be negative. You understand? To enable you calculate the one minimum value of Y. But if you apply this, which is a negative A, into this place with other what variable, what you have here is positive value to enable you calculate the maximum value of y. And that is just it. In plotting of your graph, if you know this formula for either minimum or maximum value, you understand it. You just calculate it on one side, then you come and write it. It will enable you to be precise when you are curving, when you are tracing your what curve, or when you are curving it. You understand? If not, if you don't know this formula, if there are 50 students in a class, you discover that they will have different answers. They will have different answers because they don't know the formula. But after this episode, I believe, starting from now, you'll be able to know how to calculate either your maximum or minimum value of y when plotting your graph. So the next one that we shall consider is how to calculate your equation of line of symmetry. Yes, formula for formula for calculating. Formula for calculating the equation of line of symmetry. Equation of line of symmetry, which is always what? X equals to minus b 1 over 2a. Okay? Now, the next one which we said is a what? Formula for calculating the equation of a line of symmetry. Equation of line of symmetry, is when you are expected to calculate the value of x. So at times they will ask you to calculate the corresponding value of s. And at any point in time when you are calculating either maximum or minimum value, then you must also find your equation of line of symmetry, because this will help you to be precise. And what is the equation of line of symmetry? A line of symmetry is a line that divided either the U-shape curve. Yes, a line of symmetry, this is your U-shape, this is your N-shape. A line of symmetry is a line that divided this into two equal parts. Okay, this is your line of symmetry. A line of symmetry is a line that divided this U shape, which is this, into two equal parts, or this N shape parabola into two equal parts. And this is the formula, which is S equal to minus B ratio 2A. So what is the value of a B from the question given or the function? Then you substitute the value of A. That one will also enable you to get your corresponding value X, or equation of line of symmetry. Understood? So that is just it. So we've been able to touch about shape, table of values, scales, formula for calculating either maximum or minimum values of y, which is this. Then a formula for calculating the equation of line of symmetry, which is represented by S. Then the last thing that I should touch is nature of roots. Nature of roots. That is the last one that I will touch. Nature of roots. So here, when we are talking about nature of roots, so let's quickly draw something like this of roots. Nature of roots. Okay. Nature of roots. So here the first one we shall talk about the nature of root is imaginary root. When the curve, this is imaginary. The first one is imaginary. Imaginary root. So here the curve does not touch, it does not touch x-axis. Here it doesn't touch x-axis. Okay. So this is y, and this is y. Then the next one that we shall consider is what? Okay, let's stretch this one a little bit. Then we have something like this. This is equal root. Okay, this one is equal root. Equal root. So you can see that it touches S at a point. It touches S axis at a point. Then here now, let's also increase this one a little bit. Then let's assume that it passes like this. Okay, this one is a distinct root. Here we have a distinct root. Okay, this one is imaginary. Let me write it down. So this is imaginary. Imaginary roots. Okay. So these are the natures of roots that we may consider. The first one, we have the imaginary root where the curve does not touch the x-axis. Then the second one is equal root where maybe the two roots, yes, they are the same. It could be 5, 5, 2, 2. That's equal root. You understand? The same root. Here is where we have different root, distinct root. Distinct root could be what? 2, 4, 3, maybe 2, 3, or 1, 2. You understand? So distinct. They are not the same. Here they are the same root. Here root does not what? Exist, because it does not what? Touch x-axis. I think this is all to this quadratic graph, properties of a quadratic graph. When you know all this, you discover that plotting of your graph, a quadratic graph, will be very easy for you. And that is all to this. Thank you so much. Yeah, viewers all over the world, you can see with the explanation that I have made so far, on plotting of your graph, even when we have not even taken any question here, if you wouldn't mind, take any of the textbook, and you just where you are asked to calculate either maximum or minimum value or equation of line of symmetry, apply these formulas. There, you will not check it. You discover that that's what you discover that you get the precise or the exact answers that you see there. Thank you so much.